Now we are on another maize site. This was planted on the Easter day. I think I showed you. You can see it is slightly younger to the other and where we've been. And this is a much bigger stretch that stretches onto 2 villages and 2 sub-counties. This village here is called Lusanja, which is in Nabale sub-county. There is a river which is crossing through my land. Then you go onto the other hill, which is in Ndiba, that is in Kasao sub-county. I bought this land. I didn't inherit it, I bought it. And it's not easy in the central region to find such a big chunk of land. I kept on buying one person after the other. I think I bought 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 2 the other end. That's 7 to accumulate about 35 acres here, which I've devoted into, it has been a forest. In fact, I cut a forest here in November last year. And in December, I planted here maize when we were still even cutting the trees. And I planted the first phase of maize. And within 4 months, we are going to be harvesting 2 sessions of maize. This one is literally ready if you are going to make silage. Now, this is to respond to the issues that were raised. I would like actually to thank you on my previous last week, what I posted last week. There's been lots of responses. This Saturday, I've decided to answer some of your questions, especially those that have been asking, how is this man able to feed 150 cows on zero grazing? I can proudly and smilingly show to you how easy it is. Just grow the fodder. Principle, fodder. I have a lot of silage, which was made out of the napier. I have a lot of napier pork chong. I have about 70 acres of napier. On top of that, I grow a lot of maize. Now you can see the maize. This is the maize. I make the maize silage, and I also make the maize bran. So the maize bran is what we mix in. Now you just look at, I think this is about a month and a half. What kind of a pleasure that one derives when you see you doing something and then it matures into something that really brings you the pleasure. Many people are wondering, why is this man showing off this? Is he showing off or what? People, let me give you the little background. I am a teacher. I'm an economics teacher. I've taught for the last 34 years. I started teaching in 1990, and I'm currently principal of one of the largest international schools in East Africa. But I take off my time when I leave the corporate world to jump into my Mercedes and bring all my would-be pressure and the pressures of work, and I bring it to the nature. Possibly this is how I feel I should enjoy. In the meantime, I'm adding a lot of value to my country. I do recognize the people who goes to the golf club, who go to Serena for a beer also. Maybe this is my way of relaxing when I'm really adding value. And please forgive me for being this lengthy. There are many people who have had such large enterprises, like Mulwana. Mulwana had a much bigger farm. But it was never brought to the attention of the ordinary people and shared much widely. Being a teacher, I feel obligated that I should share the same way I've taught hundreds of thousands of children in the 34 years. It's the same way right now as I'm doing farming. I feel the duty to share with people. And I'm trying to share to you something that will bring economic emancipation to you. You can't go wrong, I want to assure you. You can't go wrong. Last week I told you that there are so many, this week alone, 5 heifers have delivered. There are 5 new calves. You are going to see them. You are going to see the whole of this large stretch. And I am not a fool. Because some of you might be wondering, that one will burst. Those cows, I know I had cows and whatever. Nope. I plant this maize and put in my key pillar. Those are the trees. I plant eucalyptus, the new type, GU, that grows very fast. And it is my cornerstone. It is my principal source of income. This farm was derived from incomes realized from the tree, because I had a windfall as people were suffering during COVID. There was a lot of construction, and people who had trees really made money. And that is how, by the end of COVID, the idea came to me, what do I do with all this money? And I pushed it into the farm. The farm just mushroomed. But then the ideas also had to be real. Had to be real in the sense that I knew what to do. Many people are concentrating on zero grazing with 3, 4, 5 high millikers and 10 or 20 high millikers. I've gone to the one that we can help an ordinary person. Because people are asking, but you know, the things that is talking about are for the rich and wealthy. Not quite. Everyone, you know, cut your suit according to the cloth that you have. So you pick from what I've said. If you have 4 acres, please, that's a lot of land. Just get off half an acre for you to put the simple shelters. Then get off 1 acre and put the bisagas, or 2 acres bisagas. Gain one other acre and put on the maize to get the maize silage or the maize bran. You are good to go. So don't really rely on to, no, I first need that size or the rest. To those, you know, what is showing off is for the rich people. It's true, and I'm challenging the rich people. People who are into real estate and all other areas. Just get to know that this man can use bare 100 million to grow maize on 30 acres, but he can reap big. You can be importing your containers of electronics and all the other, but I bet that when we check on the bank account at the end, this maize takes 2.5 months. And I'm sure this time I'm not going to turn it into maize silage, because I have a lot of maize silage that can last over 1.5 years. So this one, I think I'm going to leave it to grow and turn into maize flour, and the byproduct be maize bran for my cows. And then that's it. In the meantime, I'm enjoying my life, you know. So this is what happens. So you decide. People who are into the real estate, please enjoy it. I know to look at your building getting up and then the tenants getting in. It's really very enjoyable. Please enjoy it. Those who are into import and export, please enjoy it. But just get to know the reality that there are certain cornerstones that are crucial into developing the nation. You cannot have a hungry nation, but you can have a country with a slow internet. So when you see that you are being squeezed somewhere, get it real. Please, let's be sincere why the container man has issues and the 30-acre maize man has less issues. Because I don't know the tax that I'm supposed to pay until turning my maize in this maize, 40, 30 so acres into maize silage and feeding my cows. So you find people applying the principles that they learned and applying them appropriately, because you can have tax avoidance, which is legal, but tax evasion, you know, these businessmen are fighting with the URA or other agents because, you know, they are piling on. But cattle people, why are you not? How are you going to levy tax onto me who is making maize flour? For the school children, the children who are in school, what do they eat? Maize, flour, and they eat posho. So are the beans. You are going to go there and see what I do. The second session, I won't plant in maize in this land. I'll be planting, because the trees would have grown, I'll be planting in maize. Beans. And I also harvest the beans. In the meantime, after 2 years, the trees will be ready for harvesting. So people, let's learn how to juggle our investments. So I'm not only for pro-livestock, but I'm waking up people. I'm glad many people responded. I'm waking up people, especially in the central region, that you can as well utilize your land. Stop in noting only one way of earning from land, and it is by selling it. I have not inherited a piece of land, but I've got hundreds and hundreds of acres in this area by people selling to me. because they only know one thing to do with land, that is selling it, the productive use of it. And after I've bought, I should say that is very selfish, after I have bought it, then I'm beginning to educate them. And those that have already lost it, sorry. Those that have not yet bought it, please don't sell your land. Utilize it according to the procedure that I've given to you. Thank you very much.